Hello and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something that touches on one of the deepest questions we all carry around with us, especially when life gets tough. It's a question about hope, really. It's about how stories end and what happens when the final page of our own life is turned. And this is the question, isn't it? It hits you right where you live. Every single one of us at some point has felt this. We look at the world, we look at our own lives, and we see the cracks, the pain, the loss. And there's that quiet whisper in our heart that asks, is this it? Or is there any real, solid hope that the things that are broken will ever truly be made whole again? So look at the two options our culture usually gives us. On the one hand, you've got the fade to black endings. Either you just, poof, stop existing. Or maybe you float away and become some kind of ghost in a faraway, cloudy heaven. But the idea we're exploring today is radically different. It's called the Great Reversal. It's not about escaping this world. It's about the renewal of this world. A future where everything sad will literally come untrue. Now, this isn't just wishful thinking. The source material frames this as something much more real, a truly radical kind of hope. But what makes it so different? Why is it so radical?
Just let that phrase sink in for a second. Everything sad will come untrue. It's not saying we'll just forget the sadness or pretend it never happened. No, it's that the very fabric of that sad reality gets rewoven into something beautiful. It's the actual undoing of brokenness itself.
So you might be asking, where does this incredible hope come from? Is it just a nice story we tell ourselves to feel better? Well, the argument we're looking at says no. It claims this hope is anchored to a specific, verifiable event in history, something it calls a kind of historical receipt. And here we get to the absolute heart of the matter. This point is completely unflinching. If Jesus of Nazareth died and stayed dead, then this whole idea of a great reversal is nothing more than a fantasy, a cruel delusion even. Everything, and I mean everything, hangs on the reality of the resurrection. This is where that receipt analogy really clicks, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. What's a receipt? It's your proof of purchase. It's the guarantee that the deal is done and the goods are yours. In the very same way, the resurrection is presented as God's historical receipt, his proof that the plan to redeem and renew all things has been paid in full and is absolutely guaranteed to happen. And this ancient text gives us the key that unlocks the whole concept. Did you catch that very specific, kind of strange word? First fruits. Now that's not just some poetic flourish. It's a powerful metaphor that explains exactly why the resurrection is seen as such a concrete guarantee. So let's see what it means. Okay, let's really unpack this idea. What in the world is this first fruit principle, and how does it connect one man's resurrection 2,000 years ago to a living hope for the entire universe today? You see, in the ancient world, everybody understood this. Farming was life, and the first fruits, they weren't just the first stalks of grain to pap up. No, they were the pledge, the down payment. They were the undeniable sign that the entire harvest was real and that it was on its way. The logic here is it's beautifully simple. Put yourself in that farmer's shoes. You walk out into your field after a long winter and you see that first green sprout pushing up through the soil. You don't just celebrate that one little plant, do you? No way. You celebrate the whole crop because that first sprout is the unbreakable promise that the full harvest is coming. It turns your hope into a certainty. And that is the core of the argument. In this view, Jesus' resurrection is that first sprout. It's the historical proof that God's new creation has broken into our world. It's the guarantee that God isn't going to scrap this broken world and start over. No, he's going to raise it, heal it, and perfect it, just like he raised Jesus from the dead. Okay, so that's the grand cosmic picture. It's huge. But what about the personal stuff? What about the pain that we carry, the scars and sorrows that feel so intensely ours? How does this hope touch those? And this is a really important distinction. The promise is not some kind of divine amnesia. It's not that you'll get to a new world with no memory of what broke your heart. The Bible says God will wipe the tears from our eyes. Well, to wipe a tear, you first have to cry it. The memory's still there, but its power to cause pain is healed by a direct personal act of love. To really get our minds around this, the source material uses this powerful illustration. Just picture a beautiful, priceless vase. Maybe it's an heirloom, passed down for generations. It's a symbol of wholeness, beauty, and value. And then this happens. It falls. It's shattered into 1,000 pieces. The beauty is gone. The value seems lost forever. This is exactly what our own tragedies can feel like, an irreversible shattering. But instead of sweeping the pieces into the trash can, a master craftsman comes along. He carefully, gently gathers every single shard. And he doesn't just glue them back together. No, he fuses the broken edges with veins of pure gold. And the finished piece, it's not just repaired, it's transformed. The lines of breakage, the very things that were once signs of its brokenness, have now become the source of its new, breathtaking beauty. It is stronger and more valuable because it was broken. And that is the heart of it. God doesn't just offer you a replacement life. He takes your specific sorrows, your losses, your wounds, and redeems them in such a way that they become central to your future glory. Your scars, they become your medals. This brings us to a final, and maybe the most challenging point. Given this incredible promise, we're all faced with a fundamental choice about what we believe is real. You could say it's like we're all placing our life's bet on one of two things. You can bet that this temporary world, this speck, as the author calls it, is all there is. Or you can bet on the one who walked out of a tomb, the one who conquered the ultimate shadow of death itself. And the implication here is profound. Choosing to trust in this promise isn't just about adopting a new belief system. It's about aligning your life with what the source calls the winning side of history. It's about stepping into a story that has a guaranteed, victorious, and glorious ending. I want to leave you with this final thought from C.S. Lewis, which just perfectly captures the essence of this whole idea. What if death isn't the end of the book? What if it's just the end of the introduction? What if the real story, a story where every chapter is better than the one before, is just about to begin? That is the radical hope of the Great Reversal.